So, hello everyone, Mirmonden here, and we're gonna watch the Sonic trailer, right? And I was like, I don't wanna do this. I don't wanna do this. I know, this is kind of funny, and I know it's been out a few hours now. There probably are a lot of other reactions and so on. And I even had like, the reason why I'm late in this thing, because usually I don't do like movie reactions, but this of course is a game, and so quickly, right, I played a lot of Genesis, Mega Drive, as a kid. I was one of the few kids having a Dreamcast. Yeah, I was one of the few kids that owned a Dreamcast. I love the Shenmue games and so on. Virtua Fight, actually I've actually been a very good Virtua Fighter player. I really even play it competitively. But whatever and so on. So I'm a big SEEEGA fanboy, right? Sega, yeah, so on, right? I'm talking about that video. I feel bad before I even see it. I haven't seen it, and I feel bad before I had a hard time talking, I feel. Because I just know how much I'm gonna hate this thing. Or maybe not hate it, but like what I've seen so far, right? I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I've seen the previous images. It's just such an uncanny valley thing, and I think that's gonna be the thing here, right? That the movies, no matter if it's funny or not, the Sonic looks incredibly bad, right? But I've seen so far, even without having seen the trailer. But whatever, I'm a huge Sega fanboy. Got playing Sega a lot with my best friend Max. We played it all the time. The Hedgehog 2 especially. Sonic and Tails, right? I don't think Tails is in the movie, which I think is a big mistake too, for that matter. No Knuckles, right? And played a lot of, yeah, especially Hedgehog 2, especially that one, and also a lot of Dreamcast of the Adventures, which I like. I like the games, so on. But whatever. I actually had a little existential crisis today. That's why I'm late now. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, what's the meaning of life? So then I got into that weird. I stared into a wall for a bit. Started with me having no games I felt I wanted to play. So I usually have 1 or 2 hours of me time, which I call it, where I used to play, you know, something, right? I don't stream, I don't do anything. And I was like, huh, I don't play anything. All the games I have that I want to play are completed. And I was like, yeah. It's a bit Sekiro. It's a little bit like, what should I beat now? It's a little bit like that, yeah. Whatever. So it's perfect going into Sonic now, because I feel freaking depressed before even watching it. So I'm probably gonna hate it even more. And I just feel ready to really, really hate it. Like, I have to say that, but like, man, it's just so uncanny. That's gonna be, I think, the biggest thing here, right? But I'll just be honest here. I feel like this is gonna be the ultimate thing for curing my today's depression. It's existential crisis. Perfect going into Sonic. It's gonna really help. I will probably not have sound on, because it's probably I heard some music in it. So it's that's probably gonna get, you know, yeah, I don't want to get problems with that. So. Or the video might be blocked and so on, whatever. Okay, let's start. I love Sonic. I defended Sonic for so many years. When I was getting bullied in high school and so on, right? Because of many reasons. But mainly because I was a nerd, right? I was defending Sonic, the adventure was out when I was in high school. Junior high school. I was defended. An awesome game. I liked Sonic attitude. I liked the whole, you know, oh yeah, bro, I like the Sonic thing. But, oh man, okay. Whatever. Please, how could you do this, Sonic? Have you seen the trailer yet? Let's start. Okay, it's loud. Let's just put a bit down with there. Okay, it's live action. Yeah, I know. He's the guy's gonna be Sonic's best friend. Okay, electricity. That I don't like, though. I have to pause here. That I don't like, though. I said right away here. Didn't like that. Why is that the electricity sound when? Why isn't it like Sega? They should have done that. Then I would have been forgiving them a lot more. If they did the nostalgic tip there and they did the own Sonic running past the screen, they'd be like Sega. I would have been so much more in favor of this movie right now. That makes me a little. That's a definitely missed opportunity. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, he lives, I guess, in some underground. Right away, it's like, okay, yeah, it's pretty funny, but she looks so ugly right from the back here. Oh man, that looks so bad. Okay, so it's like okay, it's cool, yo. Yeah, I'm good at the music on this. Definitely would probably block if I had music on. I hope it's Al Yankovic. I hope it's gonna be Amish Paradise instead. It would be funnier. But oh, I love my favorite actors though. I'm not being a camera in, yeah. I actually like him. Damn it, I like him. Okay, I can break here. Okay, I like it. Yeah, like I actually like. Obviously, I am kind of from that age when I grew up. Ace Ventura was big, right? Especially the mask was really big. I even had the mask, the game, and so on. I had so on, right? So when I was at that age, so I'm a big fan of Jim Carrey, right? In that, like the early, I'm born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, right? Primarily, so I'm a big Jim Carrey fan, and that was really funny to me. So Jim Carrey might actually be a great Dr. Robotnik, right? Or Eggman. It doesn't look like him at all, though. Hopefully it has to happen for that, but it doesn't look like him at all. But he actually might be a good fit for that. Obviously, I want him a bit fatter, a little more the Eggman shape. But that was pretty fun. He might be a good cast for that. That being said, though, he's mainly just playing himself, right? It's very like the Grinch. It's very like that thing. So it's very much okay. Anyway, let's go on. Okay, he probably finds him now. Oh fuck! Oh, it's so ugly. The abomination. Oh, it's so ugly. This is what people are. Yeah. Oh god, it's this. Oh, it's so bad. It's just incredibly bad. It's just. I don't understand. Someone should get fired. It is absurd. And I mean, I worked with a lot of entertainment industry. I worked for more than 10 years now, right? With mainly game development, but also other like some movies and animation and so on a little bit. And like who passed this thing? Who was the person that was like, this is good. Let's do this thing. Yeah, these are people want. Who's the person that signed off on this thing? Because I mean, this is a big operation, right? This is a big production company doing this thing. So it's not like one artist doing this thing. You have to have several people doing it. Then someone else is like looking at this like, yeah, this is good. It's so bad. It's incredibly bad. And I mean, it's okay, let's explain why, right? First of all, it's all the fur, right? Sonic's supposed to be kind of a humanoid. Sonic always looked more like a human with like a hedgehog back hair. Kind of had that Super Saiyan thing, right? And of course he turned into a Super Saiyan when he gets the Chaos Emeralds. So he had a Dragon Ball feel to him. I was joking, he's obviously inspired by Dragon Ball, Sonic. And it's like a human with like almost like a, he's like a more a half hybrid, like human human hedgehog. This is too much hedgehog, I think, in one way, with all the fur here and so on. And he should have sleeve, he should have fur arms, right? But generally, the face, the eyes, they don't have that Sonic. The Sonic has that like slim eyesight, right? They're too round. They're too much like children Kodomo anime style instead of being the more like the cool. It's not that Sonic thing to it. It doesn't really fit him. It's very very uncanny, and it's just it has teeth there. It's horrible. It's really really horrible, and it is an embarrassment for anyone who did this thing because it's really really bad. And it's just like I would so much rather prefer having the Sonic Adventure, that kind of graphic during the Dreamcast era, and after that, the GameCube and so on as well. That kind of much more slim feel. Yeah, the fur doesn't help him, right? And I mean, I actually really liked the Pikachu. I've watched that first time at the office because I have a lot of Pokemon fans, Nintendo fans there, right? So they were like, see this thing, yes, we watched it at the office. And actually, everyone loved it. They were like, wow, yeah, I love that thing. I think Pikachu looked natural, looked great, and the model was great. This feels like someone is doing 3D modeling, but they're doing it very off, right? They're not doing the Sonic. I haven't seen much of it, but it's kind of in Slash 2. It has a Sonic feel to it. Let's go on. Yeah, that's pretty funny though. Oh, and I hate this. I hate these things. This is the Flash all over again. Have you ever seen that meme with the Flash? When the Flash is like, I can dodge a bullet, but I can't dodge a punch. Yeah, it is that kind of, the Flash thing where he's like so fast that he can like outrun a car and that super reflexes, but he can't like, if you punch the Flash, he gets punched because, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like that, right? He gets, this guy can shoot him because the plot armor right now is inactive to make them meet and become friends, right? Later on, Sonic is probably gonna I don't know, outrun the government and like run, you know, speed force running and so on, right? Then obviously it should be hard to shoot him with that dart. Looks a little better in the car. A little better in the car now. Yeah, a little better in the car. That's super ugly. That is okay. That is so ugly. But yeah, that was so ugly. Ooh, I like this. This I actually like though. I actually like this thing. Yeah, robotnik. This is good though. This has the feeling of his typical car. Yeah, the four with the wheels and the color scheme. This definitely feels actually like one of his vehicles from the games. So this feels good. And that feels so weird to me though. Like, how did we get here, right? Where I feel that they actually did a pretty good Dr. Robotnik, at least vehicle-wise. So they had to play the games right, but they couldn't do Sonic even remotely close to that. It feels weird, yeah. It feels weird. How did we get to that place? I don't get this, but I don't get the electric power thing, but I think it's fine. That doesn't matter so much for me. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't get why, but it's pretty good. That's Furious, yeah. That's really cool actually in the ring team there. Sorry, pause, I post too much. Good, okay, good reference. Ooh, no, it looks more like the robotic there. Yeah. Then now we get here. He's so fast he can like freeze time, but he couldn't dodge the dart. It doesn't make any sense, right? I hate that thing. And that was so ugly too. That looks so ugly. It looks incredibly ugly. It looked good, but like at the same time it's like, okay, I guess they have to sneak him in somewhere. Typical human with his, you know, this is Transformers, this is a typical, yeah, this is the guy that has the aliens with him, yeah. They have seen this movie 25 times before, right? This is extremely tropey, but it's kind of like, yeah. Oh! This though, okay. This like, yeah, here we go. Yeah, Jim Carrey goes in for it. No, it's good, it's good. I thought it's probably only a bit of the movie. But how would I rate this thing? It's so uncanny. Oh, it's so bad. Let's go back a bit. Okay, I'm talking from a purely production standpoint now. Then, or I'm trying to do this like as professional as I can now. This is horrible. Yeah, this is just horrible. Like I'm talking to there's so many problems here. There's so many problems. It's just unbelievably bad. It's worse than I imagined. Actually, I guess I'm a negative person and a depressed person. Yeah, I have my today's existentialism depression, but it's kind of like somewhere around here. Right? It's just like there's so many issues here. I think it's that I want to say this when I see the movie. Okay, I want to say this thing when I see the movie, the trailer. Sorry. The shit thing. I think it could actually been a decent movie. Like, this could have been a decent movie. Like, it feels like I kind of liked all the characters to me was pretty funny. I'm probably biased though, but they're pretty funny. The henchman was pretty good, yeah, so on. You know, his friendship with the humans are probably gonna be like any other kind of similar movie. That's probably fine. The real issue, right, is how Sonic looks like. It's like the most horrible, ugly, uncanny CG effect ever. And it also hasn't even fit into his how I'd say it. It doesn't also fit into how it looks like in the games, right? They made it way too human. Like, yeah, it's way too human. I think it's better. Let's see if I can find a scene. Kind of when you stretch at the land. I think that's a good scene to see here. Yeah, that's a great example there in 139, 140. There we go. That's a great point that I'm in here. Let's find out. There we go. Yeah, this I think is a great example of why it doesn't work right. Because he looks kind of fat. You see what I mean? He looks short and stubby. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Yeah, like really, that's almost a bigger issue. Not just the fur, it doesn't have the legs, doesn't have the Sonic legs. Doesn't seem to have gloves, seems to have a set of fur hands, also really stupid. Doesn't have exactly kind of the hedge, the kind of the Super Saiyan, the, you know, Akira Toriyama hairstyle, doesn't really have that thing going for him. For that matter also, less impactful character. But the biggest issue here is the legs and his height. He looks obviously he's not like fat. He doesn't look like fat like he's like a fat guy, right? But he looks quite like the legs are too big on him, and they aren't like stretched out enough, right? Sonic has really like tall, slim leg stripes. He's like a runner guy, yeah. He has that runner look, right? And he looks like he should probably be twice as tall here compared to the vehicle, and it's probably almost only legs I want to see being stretched out on him. He should be much more like that. He looks like he's really short here, and like his legs are really stubby. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It doesn't look at all like Sonic, and it looks too round too. And Sonic with the attitude, right? I got because if you remember the old Nintendo and Sega commercial, it's like Sega does what Nintendo does. It's like the attitude, right? He's the hero with the attitude. He's the teenager with the attitude, kind of that side, right? And that doesn't help you. He doesn't look as edgy, right? He doesn't look. Literally, he has to be more edgy to be like that. Literally, he has to be more. He should be more edge. Like, he should literally be more edgy. That will make him look more like that. I think I've seen this great comparison, so you can find it. A friend sent it to me. Let's see here. I think I'm on Discord. Because it lags. Okay, whatever it's on. Let's stop lagging. But he's too fat. Yeah, he's too human. He's stupid. It's really stupid. It should be more. It should be more like the canon, right? Like he looks more cartoonish, as he's in games and so on. It would fit better. But also, thanks to that kind of the stubby legs and the kind of the round stomach and so on, he also looks way less like attitude. It looks way less like that. Yeah, way less of that. Here we go. Yeah, I find it there. Okay, so let's compare this. I can make it bigger here. A second. There we go. Okay, massively big. Okay. This is a good comparison here because you can see it, right? So one of them can be a bit too big. Okay, so if you compare these two things here, the one to the right, of course, is classic Sonic, right? More or less, with kind of more fur attitude. But thanks to his stomach being way more uplift, right, and being more like a triangle shape, it's like a triangle, but it's like a little more rounded off, right? Almost like a triangle. That gives you an edge, right? And that gives you a little more of that, the speed, but also a little more attitude because of that edgy things. The same thing with the nose being more dragged out, right, on old typical Sonic, also makes him a little more, edgy, a little more fast and so on. That's also a thing there. The ears are also a little more pointy. Also the angles are a little better, right? So that also gives a little bit. But especially the eyes. The Sonic eyes are, of course, much bigger, but they have the oval shape instead of the pupils, right? And where this Sonic goes more the typical anime, big-eyed, cutesy anime side. It doesn't make any kind of sense, yeah. And of course, like the great example here, as I talked about the legs, right? The legs looks so stumpy on him. He looks way like he has short legs and so on, because his stomach is way further down. But also the shoes. I didn't think about that, but yeah, the shoes are so much bigger on Sonic, right? Sonic has massive shoes that are part of his character, right? And if you look at the old classic, I don't know, Crash Bandicoot, whatever, right? They all have, Mario and so on. They all have interesting appearance. I mean, not Mario so much, but they look different. They look interesting, right? Yeah. The shoes on Sonic in this movie are really uninteresting. There's no more sneakers. It is horrible, yeah. And of course, the arms, as I mentioned, he has like fur instead. It's not even the correct way there. And also, he has like a fur here instead, right? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. But this is a really bad this Sonic. He's really bad in so many aspects because it's like depressing. It's a truly depressing seeing this thing because it doesn't make any sense when you think about it, like in a productional standpoint. And I don't understand it. Like, what world am I living in? Who passed this thing? I'm probably gonna get some angry mails for this now. I don't know if I know anyone who works there, but I might know someone that knows someone. So if someone ever sees this, they're probably like, oh, you have to be more positive. Yeah, they're gonna strike for this, right? Yeah, I don't know, but it's like, it is so weird. Who passed this thing? It looks boring. It doesn't have anything of doing the attitude of Sonic, right? The stomach is too normal. It looks basically like a human that has colored their it looks more like a human in a blue suit, right? Or has like, you know, put some paint or something like that. That's kind of how it looks, yeah. Like a naked human running around with normal clothes, right? And Sonic's supposed to be an alien. The only thing that is not human is kind of like a little bit of the face, I guess. But the body, yeah, that makes it so uncanny too. It really is like a freaking monster of a character because the body shape here, and the body shape really looks like a human, right? The body shape looks like a normal person that is a little, that is not a runner, yeah, and doesn't have the runner legs and so on, and kind of like chubby arms, yeah. It looks like that kind of like, you know, tiny but still like weirdly big here, but yeah, weird kind of arm shapes. But it looks like a normal person. It doesn't look like an alien, right? It doesn't look like some kind of, you know, humanoid thing. It looks like a normal human. Really weird. And then it has that uncanny face that looks too soft. Eyes are too soft. Eyes are too, yeah, not edgy enough. It's really weird. I could put it again, right? Put it out there again, but to the, yeah, the other one, it's much more, of course. This is an actual non-human, right? It looks so much more different. The arms too. Oh, damn it. I was thinking about it earlier. He has no gloves, but also Sonic, of course, has big shoes and big gloves, right? Sonic has massive big gloves and big shoes. That gives him that little bit of the Rayman feel to, I guess, so on. But it looks, you know, cartoonish in a good way, right? I don't understand this. This movie is, who freaking thought it'd be a good idea, right? It's ridiculous. It's just like, I think the movie, the trailer actually looks fine. That's the worst thing. I wouldn't say, oh, this is the best trailer ever. Like, it looked fine. Like, you know, 6 out of 10 trailer. Like, I probably will see it eventually. Yeah, that's how the trailer looks to me. With Jim Carrey and so on. Yeah, it actually looks pretty fine. If I just ignore how Sonic looks like, yeah. If Sonic looked like the older version there, then the movie might be a pretty good movie. But now it's like, Jesus Christ, it looks so damn ugly. How did they pass this thing? I don't understand it. I see so many mistakes after with production and art and so on, but this is ridiculous. This is so ugly. But this is the main character. This is Sonic, yeah. And it feels like, I wonder if they ever tested this on any kind of people. Did they ever like show this image, or, you know, did they ever show like the concept art, you know, before the modeling was started and so on? Did they ever show that to anyone outside the company, like normal fans? And, you know, like, here's an NDA, write this thing, you can see the new Sonic character, to actual like Sega fans or something like that. I can't see anyone say, oh, this is good shit. Yeah, anyone said it's Jay here, right? I mean, I can imagine people being at the office, typically how unfortunately many people are, where someone, this is my new art, they're like, oh, it's awesome, yeah, it's awesome, oh, I love it, yeah. I can imagine that happening in the actual company, right? The people, no one is gonna tell anyone it's bad and so on. It's not in a weird way. I can imagine it happening in that sense, but what I mean is that I feel that they could never have taken it out of the company, right? And showed anyone, or showing like people at Sega, showing anyone in Japan, like that company, not like that's what, like, they had the license, right? Showing anyone and saying, how do you look at this thing? And like some random people, doesn't have any, like, you know, say it doesn't have to be nice to them. Yeah, some random people on the street, right? Okay, here's a pipe, yeah, compare this to. It's just insane. It is insane. It is so uncanny too. But I think that the uncanniness also comes then again from not just the face, the face is really uncanny. That's right away, very, very uncanny valley. But I think it is because the body is also shaped like a human being. Yeah, again, right? Because his body here is shaped as a normal human. Then has the face that's not human, but and the somewhat still kind of human. It's too human, I think. But then have this super weird, you know, yeah, anime eyes and so on, and the face and its fur there. And this is not, it's not appealing for a second. I think that's what most, actually, yeah, the uncanny thing comes from him looking way too human, but also way too ugly, right? In the same time, it's really weird. But the biggest thing I would say though, he's just appalling, right? I think the biggest issue actually is, if you can ignore everything that's uncanny and try to be objective and say that this is how I'm used to stuff and so on, which is hard. This is my depression, Jesus Christ, but if you ignore this thing and say, okay, this is how it should look, okay, like the older Sonic never exists. This is the first time we ever see Sonic, or something like that, yeah. And the result I'm still thinking is that he's so boring, right? That's what I mentioned earlier. The edge is gone here. doesn't have the attitude. He's just really, really boring. I think that's the weirdest thing too. Doesn't look appealing for a second. It doesn't look, yeah, like it. I'm gonna go back and trailer. It's long video, no, long video. Sorry, I'm just, I don't know. I'm feeling like I wanna kill myself. See this thing. Yeah, it's like the world is over. Not really, of course, but it's kind of that. So before. Yeah, like that. That's a good point there. It's a very short scene here. Yeah, get that. I have to pause the video. There we go. Okay, there I got it. Okay, good. Time to pause the video here before the misses of launching the trailer. Oh, the straw, but he just looks really boring, right? He looks boring and like really uncool. And Sonic all about having the cool, having the edge. So that's what the least thing I understand here. Even if you ignore that. This is how it should look. I've never seen, you know, like, let's pretend that the game never existed, right? This is what I can't stand behind this thing, and I'm really, like, disgusted by it, because it's just really boring. It looks like a smurf, like a boring, like he's standing like, you know, look at me, but because his stomach is really, it looks really fat, as I mentioned earlier, probably because the fur makes it look kind of round, it's like a fat stomach. And the arms look really weird, and they're kind of short, and has kind of normal legs and normal shoes. His face is just really boring, like a little, you know, children toy thing, instead of having, like, you know, edgy, like, yeah, fight. It's more like, you know, like a nice little fuzzy toy. He looks so unappealing. Yeah, he looks so not badass. He looks like the most boring, generic little plushie toy, whatever. Yeah, it looks really, really boring. I think that's the biggest thing. He looks incredibly useless. Has no attitude whatsoever, yeah. And that the problem is that he has no attitude, but he's still playing him as an old good Sonic, and he doesn't look like old Sonic yet, yeah. I think the same thing here. Also good example of this, yeah, the last scene there. This is what you really feel, yeah. The last scene is the same thing, right? Because I know his screen is very small now, but yeah. Like in this scene, he also looks. He's trying to be that, you know, oh, I'm too cool to care about you with my powers. But at the same time, he still looks so boring. He looks so, he's like so nothing, yeah. It's so appalling character design. And his face, his arms are so ugly too. Like if he had those big gloves and those big shoes in that scene here, or whatever in the last scene there, I think it would look better, yeah. He would look more, you know, interesting. He would look more impactful. So I think that's one of the things that you really feel like. It's just so crazy watching the anime. And it's the same thing here. Of course, it's easier when you pause it than when you actually watch the movie. But if you look at this scene, when he's like, you know, avoiding the rockets, he looks so ugly and boring, right? Like, obviously, the movie actually could be pretty good if this didn't have this thing. It's so weird, yeah, it's so weird. Or whatever, it is one of the worst traits I've seen in my life. No, but it's just like, how the hell did this happen? It feels like it doesn't make any sense to me. And I've seen people do, of course, I've lived enough long in lifetime to see sometimes really stupid things happen. But it feels like one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Like one of the ugliest things I've ever seen, and I don't understand how anyone ever could have passed this thing. It doesn't make any sense. It's so ugly. But also, I think a good point. I think the best point I'm making here, that obviously is Uncanny Valley, like crazy Uncanny Valley, but again, bro, the most important point I'm making is that even if you've never seen Sonic games, you never played the games, you don't know anything about the Sonic anime, the comics. I actually have the comics volume 1 actually. Yeah, I have the first volume. Yeah, I have the first volume of the comics, and I actually have most of the volumes for like the first volume, like the first, you know, chapter 1 to the last of the first edition. But whatever, like if you have all of that stuff, right? If you never see anything of that, you would still find this Sonic ugly, right? It's a boring character. And ignoring even the Uncanny Valley stuff, it just looks not very imposing character, right? It's boring, it's fat with that fur coming out like that. The art was really weird. Like this, it looks really, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, I can't see children liking it either. You probably will maybe go, it's obviously mainly appealing to children, but I don't think it's going to impress kids either, right? They're probably going to go to the movie and be like, yeah, it's okay. The movie actually seems to be, as I mentioned, pretty okay if you ignore something that's really ugly. But I just cannot see how they got to this place. I'm looking at this image here now and he's diving down the rocket. It looks so boring. It looks like a really, really ugly, fuzzy toy. So strange. And also then because they're still trying to make him the edgelord, right? Sonic was the original edgelord, right? He was always like, yeah, kids, yeah, I'm the cutest, but he was not that kind of guy, right? Still has it going for him, but he looks so fluffy and so, you know, so weak and meek, yeah. So it's making sense. Well, anyway, that's my long reaction now. I'm so tired of this thing. I don't want to talk about it anymore. See you guys tomorrow with some more reaction and reviews and so on. Yeah, Carol Tuesday tomorrow. That's the best thing. Yeah, Carol Tuesday, best animated season. Can't wait enough. Can't look forward to definitely reaction and reviewing. I think I recommend it so much to everyone. No one has seen it. No one has seen it. You have to have Netflix in Japan, but yeah, whatever. It's the best thing this season. So hope to see you guys with that.